We've got a really cool story. The thing that always amazes me is that, we have stories of remission. We have stories of children that had brain tumors removed. And in the 8 years that we've done this radiothon, I don't think I remember a case where there's a doctor that worked in the NICU that hadn't seen the patients in 17 years, and yet here we are. I love this story. Marley and Donovan, they are twins. They're 17. One of you was 2 pounds. One of you was 1 pound at birth. And yet here we are, healthy, looking like teenage kids that are like, all right, how long do I got to do this radio stuff so I can get back to Instagram? Healthy as can be, all is good in the world. And we've got your doctor, Dr. Napolitano. What was that like to see them for the first time in 17 years?
I was telling Matt in the hallway, very rarely do you have an opportunity once babies go home. You may see them 1 or 2 times when the family comes back. But to step back and look back 17 years ago, it's truly amazing.
They look a little different, don't they?
Oh, they sure do. I can remember them in the palm of my hand, and we were just discussing how their dad's ring could go all the way up their arm.
Oh my gosh!
Can you imagine size-wise? And to see them walking down the hall, it really brings palpitations. It's just incredible. You just never know. You never know what these children are going to be like, and for them to walk in, not only is it a great feeling for me, but it's for anyone who has a baby up in the unit to see them, to say, "Hey, look, this is possible."
Well, and you can probably speak to this too. Now compared to even 20 years ago, 20 years ago to now, the progress is outstanding. Just like if people would just give money now, the progress we're going to see in the next couple of years because of that money. I mean, it really, not only does it make a difference, but the progress we're seeing at such an accelerated rate these days, medicine is, if we can just raise the money to get research and treatment.
It's absolutely incredible. If you think about Marley and Donovan, they were both at the cutting edge of where medicine was for us at that time. So 17 years ago, you were talking about babies that were very, very critical. Technology at the time was in the process of developing. And you're absolutely right. As we look at the cutting edge right now, it's the investment that people make in it right now that helps us push it to the children that are even tinier than Marley and Donovan were. But if you think about what was done back at that time, the care at that time was related to what people contributed to give us the technology we needed for them. So it's very, very impressive. You're absolutely right.
Wow, it's incredible. So how does it feel to be back in the hospital again after all these years?
Seeing him, it's just so great to, see the man who, saved my life when I was little, and I never thought that I would see him again. But, my mom's like, you should reach out to him, see if you can see him, and, seeing him, and, he's so kind, and just everything about him, and he gave me a hug, and I thought that was so sweet when I saw him.
So what kind of challenges did they face being 2 pounds and 1 pound? I can't even imagine all the body parts fitting inside of a 1 pound baby.
The body parts are there, is how well they work. So both of them were on mechanical ventilators. They were on breathing machines to help them breathe. They were tiny at that time. So going back, we're looking at for a point where we didn't really have the medicine we could give them at that point in time to help their breathing. So they were on the respirator for a period of time. They were tiny. They couldn't eat. So we were feeding them with intravenous fluid. And they stayed within the unit for 3 months. So you can imagine, I was trying to tell them that back in the old hospital, we had maybe about 48 beds, not a lot of space for parents. So parents could stand by their bedside, maybe one baby could sit. One baby was located on one side of the intensive care nursery, one baby was be on the other side. And to see where we are now, and I actually would like to bring them back to let them see what the neonatal intensive care unit is, how it's evolved. It's evolved because people knew what the needs were and really helped us fund what we needed to provide.
So you're in high school now. She weighed twice as much as you did. Who's tougher now, you?
I don't know about that one, to be honest with you.
So how is high school? You look great, amazing. It's hard to believe that you were 2 pounds and 1 pound, and you look awesome. What's high school like now?
High school's pretty great, actually. I like it a lot. I'd like to just thank Dr. Napolitano for everything he's done for me. It's incredible just to see how far we've come since then, and I really like to thank him for that.
Yeah, do you two ever like sit around and go, "Wow, we used to be like"? I mean,
Smaller-
I can't wrap my head around that. Like, I mean, I'm sure you've seen pictures, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what's that like to look back on that?
I mean, honestly, I think it brings us closer. Like,
You guys get along? Do you guys get along?
Yeah.
Because this is a
Yeah,
unique
for the most
situation.
part.
Yeah.
yeah, when we were little, we were basically inseparable. I mean, it's a little less now, but we still have a really good relationship, I think.
What is the best and worst part about being twins?
I mean, let's start with the best part first.
Okay.
I think the best part about having a twin is just being able to have someone that you know is always there for you and they're never going away. And it's just such a great feeling to know that I have her with me.
That's awesome.
The worst thing, maybe. I don't think there's a worst thing. I wouldn't.
That is so great because I'm being honest with you. I could never say something as nice as what you just said about my sister. That is outstanding that you guys get along that way. And Dr. Napolitano, I mean, to go back to where we were just a few minutes ago, literally, I think people think it's cliche for me to say it, but literally the money we raise, it does make a difference. And the difference that it's going to make in the next couple of years versus the last couple, what we just went through and the success rate of 1 pound babies living now compared to even 5 or 10 years ago. Can you speak to that again just a little? I want people to fully understand your $15 absolutely saves lives.
It not only buys and helps with the equipment that we need now, but the research. If you think about when these children were born, we didn't actually have medication to help their lungs function better.
Right.
It's the investment that was made that they were able to develop through research medication to help give them so they could breathe more comfortably. And where they are right now, if you think about between one was 700, Donovan was 700, a little bit over 700, and Marley was a little bit over 900, we're now looking to go down to 400. So to be able to get down, you can imagine that the technology, the research it's going to take to support that, that's what parents are looking for. So truly the miracles back 17 years ago are going to be the miracles of the future.
This is your chance to really make a difference and help a parent take their child home, to ensure that we have cures, to ensure that we have remission. But we need your help, and we're down to our last not even 2 hours. We still have 71 miracle makers to go to hit our goal. 1-800-270-8642. Like I said earlier, you just throw it on a credit card, and truthfully, my credit card bill, it's the only good thing on there. I said this earlier, man. $15 all children's hospital. I feel great about that. $800 restoration hardware. Not so great about that.
That is not saving lives.
$1,100 at the Pottery Barn. I don't feel too good about that. I ain't gonna lie to you. 1-800-270-8642. Every single cent stays right here. God forbid you ever need this hospital. It'll be right here. But for the All Children's Hospital to continue to do the things they do, we need your help. 1-800-270-8642. Let's make those phones ring. 1-800-270-8642. I have to think there's 71 of you out there that care enough to stop what you're doing. We can process you in not even 3 minutes, and then you can go about your business and get back to taking everything for granted. Doctor, what would you say, thank you for those that are making it ring in the background, what would you say to those people that are on the fence, and then we'll wrap up that way, to push them over to the right side so they give, you would say what?
If you think about 17 years ago where we are today, and to realize that people like the people that are listening to this took the time to make a difference for both Marley and Donovan, could you imagine what it would be like if we could have 71 people today make a difference in what's up in the nursery and what's going to be in the future neonatal intensive care unit? I think you see miracles sitting in front of you, and for me it is touching because I don't get a chance to see this. I don't get a chance to see them grow up. But for them to come in and see us, it really makes it worth its while, and I think for your listeners to realize you're investing in miracles.
What is the research that's going on now that maybe 17 years ago it might have been the development of lungs that was going on? What's the development now that this $15 is going towards to make even more preemies have the chance to be alive?
We're learning today how to provide better nutrition, and that's very, very big. So we're learning how to be able to feed babies. We're learning how to use different forms of breast milk to be able to help the babies grow. And for tiny babies, that's really very important. We're investing in different types of incubators that can keep these babies growing and keeping these babies warm, and as well as new types of breathing machines that are even more sensitive than the ones we've had in the past to help their little lungs breathe better.
So that's where the money goes then.
Yeah, it's a very cool moment to be sitting with the doctor that helped bring back 1 and 2 pound babies to healthy teenagers that are hanging out. I'm glad you guys are here. You know, often we talk to a lot of moms that just brought, you know, a premature baby home. It's not very often, because we've only been doing this 8 years, it's not very often we get to see 17 years later that it's a full grown, I mean, you're adults now. Man, that's crazy. I'm glad everything's going well. Before we wrap up, both Marley and Donovan, what would you say to the people out there why you think they should give?
I know for my parents, they were always here, you know, and they were like by our side the whole time. And like that moment when they took us home, like that was probably one of the best moments of their life, you know. And if people could donate, so to help towards the research for that, you know, I think when other parents get that feeling for their preemies, I think that's just something that they'll remember forever, you know.
Donovan?
I say that the main reason you should give is because these kids, their parents want to see them grow up to be successful, and they want to grow up to see them be just young and healthy adults. And I believe that that can happen with just $15, as you were saying, because everything really does make a difference. And I strongly believe that putting your money towards this is a great cause, because not only is Dr. Napolitano such a great doctor, it's also such a great cause. And I just like to thank everyone who's listening.
And thank you for everyone that's given already. We just need to get 71 more, and then we can all get out of here and do our thing. 1-800-270-8642. 1-800-270-8642. This is your opportunity to really do something good.